Mounting your MetaBike seat. First step is to install the actual bolt hardware. And we have two sets. One set for the bottom, one set for the seat stays. The seat bottom gets 2 rubber washers, where the seat back on the seat stays only gets 1. Mounting a seat stay. There are 2 bolts with lock washers. The lock washer goes between the bolt and the seat stay. No washers are necessary between the seat stay and the frame. And you want to get these just snug down to hold the seat stay in place to help mounting of the seat go a little bit smoother. When mounting your seat stay, you want to make sure that the seat stay is on the inside of the bolt boss. And you want to have the lock washer between the head of the bolt and the seat stay itself. To mount your MetaBike seat, there are 3 available hole options on the seat. We start with the center hole so you can adjust forward or back depending on your fit on the bike. With your seat mounted in whichever holes you choose is best for you, you should have a bolt, a rubber-backed metal washer, your seat, then 2 rubber washers on each side, and then you can go ahead and put a washer and your nut underneath. With the bottom bolts only finger tight, we can get the top seat bolts aligned with the seat stays. The seat stay bolt should go rubber-backed metal washer, then your seat, and a single rubber washer, and then the pivot washer. And the pivot washers will allow for flex as you change the recline on your seat. With the bottom seat bolts only finger tight, it allows for movement here to get your bevel washers in place. And you want to hold those in and line up your bolts with the seat stays, and the bolt wants to thread straight into that seat stay. The first one's easier, and just start to thread it and it'll go in quite easily. The second one can be a little bit of a pain if you can see how the bolt angle doesn't match the seat stay angle. So with a little bit of pressure in the bolt, you just flex it and start to thread it in, and it will start to thread in. And thread these all the way down. And you don't want to thread all of one bolt in, or else the seat will be going in crooked. So evenly torque each side until you start to get it flush with the seat stays. And there, we're getting close. To adjust the angle of your MetaBike seat, you need to make sure that all seat bolts are loosened, including the seat bottom bolts from underneath, the seat stay bolts, the pinch bolts, and the seat stay bolts to the seat itself. Once those are all loosened, you have plenty of adjustment on a single set of holes. If you change your seat holes here, as you move those forward and back, you want to also make sure that all of these are loose, because it will change the angles of everything as you move it just slightly, and it'll just be much easier if you have everything loose. Once you figure out what position you want, then you go through and tighten your bolts accordingly. With your seat in the forward set of bolt holes, with the seat reclined, there's no interference issue with your idler, but as you bring that seat up, you can get interference. Just touching the chain guide isn't a problem. You may find a rattling noise if it's actually touching, so you will just have to angle your seat down or stack the seat up to get away from the idler. But what you really want to look out for is the wheel actually rubbing against the seat. If just the chain keeper itself is touching a little bit, that's not a problem. Just don't have the chain or the wheel itself, any moving piece touching your seat. And that's mounting your MetaBike seat.